Occult Veritas SCP Files. Episode 7 Examination.
There we are.
Is recording this really necessary, Miranda?
Well, we work in a professional research facility, Scott. Documenting our discussions ensures transparency and accountability within our department. It's part of our commitment to maintaining the highest standards of professionalism and ethics. Plus, having a record of our conversations can be helpful for future reference and analysis. Oh, and we should absolutely maintain professional standards here as well, so that's Dr. Sterling when you address me, please.
Right, yes. Sorry, Doctor.
That's quite all right. Just don't let it happen again. We're professionals, after all, not friends. I see that Niall's been bothering you and trying to convince you otherwise. He has permission from someone a bit higher up to walk a bit of a different path to the rest of us, but it really doesn't excuse him distracting you. I'll have a word with him about it.
He's really not bothering me.
No? He has taken you away from your desk several times now.
We've gone to lunch a few times, that's all. We just go to the canteen. I haven't even left the building. I'm actually really glad for the company, honestly.
You were assigned to your role in order to read incident reports. Remind me, how many have you completed so far?
6.
Meaning your rate is what?
2 a week. I'll be better about not letting Niall distract me.
Look, Scott, I'm here to work with you. To help you, not to punish you. What is your reason for the slow review of the reports? I just want to understand so that we can solve this problem together.
They make me feel...
Yes?
I don't know how to describe it. Extremely uncomfortable. Sick, I suppose.
That's not that surprising. The contents can be unnerving. That's why these incidents are reported, after all.
I understand that, but there's something more to it. I can't describe it, but it feels as though... I can't describe it.
Try.
When I read them, I can feel the SCP.
Go on.
I can't. I'm sorry, ma'am. I would if I could. It's just odd and uncomfortable. I don't like it.
Interesting. You're not remembering?
I don't think so. My first memory is still of you waking me up in the med bay. I suppose those feelings could be flashes of something from before. Something the amnestics didn't touch, but I don't think so. It feels like something else.
Okay. You know to contact me immediately if you start remembering, correct?
Yes, of course. What should I be alert for?
Telling you would defeat the purpose of wiping your memory, wouldn't it? Rest assured, with what you survived, it was quite a necessary measure. Don't go messing with that and scratching around in your mind looking for a memory.
I won't. But what if one of the reports triggers something? If an SCP messed me up so badly my whole memory needed to be wiped, surely there are other reports on that same one.
Your pile currently contains only safe and Euclid level reports for just that reason. You won't be encountering anything that triggers a memory. No need to worry. I've seen to that personally.
Thank you, ma'am.
Of course. It's my job as your director to keep you safe from harm. Now, how have you been using your time if only occasionally digitizing reports?
I've really been trying to keep myself busy and productive. I'm not just sitting around. I've been organizing the reports by number and location. I should have them mostly organized in just a few weeks. I've also been updating the database entries as appropriate, cross-referencing the new reports with existing ones to try and extrapolate a pattern that may help with containment, and ensuring that existing protocols have taken into account what has been learned from the incidents I review. I'm keeping busy. I am.
Then keep going as you are and read the reports as often as you're able. As you're still recovering, it may be detrimental to push yourself. Keep the pace you feel you need and alert me immediately if anything changes.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Well, if that's all, you're dismissed. Yes?
I had some questions still, actually, about a few of the reports.
Yes, I suppose that's only natural. To you, this is all new information.
Yes, it's a lot to take in. But the anomalies aren't what's bothering me. By nature, they're anomalous, so if I don't understand them, it feels okay. My questions are more about the people. The ones who make the reports.
I see. In that case, the information I have is more limited. I know none of them personally, but I will answer what I can. Ask away.
Well, the first one. 1183? The D-class, Marcus. Shouldn't we be releasing him soon?
Firstly, your professionalism is atrocious. It's not 1183, it's 1183. Your way of pronouncing it is lazy, and laziness is not an excuse for poor job performance. I really do expect you to get all designations right from now on, Scott. Secondly, you should be using his designation and not his name for clarity's sake. There are plenty of people named Marcus at the Foundation, but there is only one D10443.
But I thought designations get reused, so couldn't there be multiple?
Did he die?
No.
Then my point stands.
Yes, ma'am. But you never answered my question. Shouldn't he have earned his release?
His case has already been reviewed, and it has been determined that the most ethical outcome is to leave him where he is.
But why? Surely there's no harm in letting him go.
You're so taken by his little sob story. Consider this, he served 1 year here and 3 years before. For embezzlement. Where he's from, that crime typically constitutes a 10-year imprisonment plus a fine. Perhaps more, given that he was stealing from particularly powerful clients. So, why was it that he was to be released after just 4?
I don't...
You're so quick to just believe the lies of an unreliable narrator. There is a lot of corruption out there. I'm not sure who he paid off for a lighter sentence, but there is no chance his record is clean. Scott, you really need to be careful about what you choose to believe and how you let it color your perception.
Well, what about Tom, D760 from 098's case? You know, the crabs?
Good. You're learning. D760 was injured by his own gross negligence, and he was reassigned as a result. It is not the fault of the ethics department that he passed away in his next assignment. For your own sake, don't go asking about that one. I believe Niall already warned you about that once.
Yes, he did. I don't need to know the details, but you must agree that it looks like the poor man was sacrificed.
Like I said, it's not the fault of the ethics department. We are not in charge of reassignments.
But we are in charge of the ethicality of containment protocols. This ATZAC protocol for SCP-3000
Is none of your concern. Don't make me warn you again. That is beyond your clearance, and you need to stop asking. By wiping your memory, we've given you a new chance at life. Don't waste it.
I apologize, ma'am. I'll let that one go.
Wise.
But what about D4172 then? The SCP-1207 experiments with the mirror.
Unforeseeable but acceptable injury occurring during planned testing.
I don't understand the point of these tests. It seems unnecessary. What are we even trying to find out? Like the one with the birds, SCP-2243? The isolation study? Even Niall said that wasn't handled well. Isn't it all just cruelty for the sake of cruelty?
Hardly. Tests on 2243 assist us in studying the effects of anomalies on speech and language, which may help us treat similarly affected individuals in the future. And SCP-1207 is a direct exposure line-of-sight cognitohazard that's safely contained. Testing on its effects allows us to extrapolate for other similarly operating cognitohazards that are not yet safely contained, which allows us to approach and handle them more effectively. In the long run, these tests could save a lot of lives.
I see.
You're thinking way too small picture, Scott. All of humanity is on the line. We can't be distracted by a disturbing case here or there.
That's a dangerous way of thinking, I fear.
It's the only way of thinking. Anything else is a luxury we just can't afford. Here, if you're done asking questions, I brought you a report. I want you to read it.
What, now?
We're recording, are we not? Go ahead.
This is a single page, and it's a barely legible scrawl. I don't understand. Why are we doing this now?
I just want to see for myself how you're doing in your role. Read it.
I'm not sure I can. The handwriting is...
Just try.
Yes, ma'am. Incident 2881-02. Second known incident involving SCP-2881, colloquially known as the Tree You Cannot Climb. Incident occurred during planned testing. Potential risks and losses considered acceptable. Object class, safe. Risk assessment level, needs further study. Reported by D342, also known as Avia Amal. Report made March 18th, 2024. Climbing, scaling, pulling, heaving, upwards, onwards, forwards, higher, never resting, never looking down. It follows, always grunting, breathing, chasing ever upwards, climbing higher, never slowing. Don't look down. Am I climbing? Or am I falling? Or perhaps I'm completely still. Blue sky stretches, endless, breathless, vast and empty, daring me to jump. I catch myself. I don't want to die. But here it comes, with claws slicing, teeth gnashing, crashing through the nettles, growling, howling, hungry for blood. I climb, and I climb, and I climb. The branches never end. I don't remember the ground. My muscles ache. My hands are cut, bloody, raw and aching, splinters digging ever deeper. Do I even have hands anymore? Or are they more wood than flesh? The pine needles scratching, scraping, cutting skin and climbing hands, sticking sap and smearing blood, but it's so much better than what's chasing from below. To the left, the sky continues to stretch. The crashes coming closer, nearing, fearing for my life, steering ever towards me, wailing, tailing, rending the air in an awful cacophony that spells my doom. I jump. I fall. The wind rushes, blasting, blowing, tears streaming, shouting, screaming. But nobody hears me. Oh, look. There's the ground. Far below, a tiny speck of mottled brown and green. Hurtling towards it, falling, fearing, helpless, suddenly regretting, legs backpedaling, arms flailing for something to hold on to. The branches are right there. I beg them to catch me. They eagerly oblige. Skin tearing, joints popping, bones snapping, screams sounding. But I'm no longer hurtling down. There's a crash right above me. I look up. There it is. Maw open, eyes glowing, teeth shining, drool pouring, viscous and white. There's a rope held taut in its claws. I have not escaped after all.
Good. How do you feel?
Awful.
Interesting.
I don't understand. How is this report possible? It sounds like she died at the end of it.
Yes. During our latest test on SCP-2881, we sent our tester with paper to document what she was experiencing after she climbed out of our sight. She was gone 1 hour of our time, though her wounds suggest it was several days for her. She came hurtling to the ground and was pronounced dead by hanging.
So, how did the report get written?
A very good question, and not one that I have the answer to. Do you know?
No. It wasn't stated directly. Why would I know that?
Fair enough. I suppose you wouldn't.
Why have me read this particular report?
I wanted to see how you would do with an odd one.
Okay. So, how did I do?
We shall see, Scott. We shall see. You may go now.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Wait, Scott. I have something for you. Here.
What is it?
A new digital voice recorder. This one is portable. If you're going to be away from your desk so much, maybe you should take a walk or two down the halls containing the safe objects. See what you can find. And keep the recorder turned on.
I don't understand.
Oh, you don't need to. You just need to obey.
Vault Veritas SCP Files is a podcast inspired by the SCP Foundation. Examination is based on SCP-2881 by ZMAX15 from the SCP Wiki located at scpwiki.com/SCP-2881. It is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution Share-alike 3.0 unported license. This episode was performed by Justin Gellner and Mintaka Angel, and it was written and edited by Leola Angel. We welcome comments. Please email us at vaultveritas@gmail.com, join our Discord channel using the link in the episode description, or if you'd like, visit our Patreon, listed as Vault Veritas SCP Files. Thanks for listening.